You guys, this story with reality TV star or reality TV personality, Garrick Merrifield from Seeking Sister Wife, it just keeps getting stranger or it just keeps getting deeper. It just keeps getting worse. The more info that comes out, the more we really see like what kind of person Garrick Merrifield is. This man is constantly on dating apps, trying his best to find a new wife every 5 seconds. He has dated numerous women, divorcing his wife, Danielle, his wife of like 15 years. They have two children, well, three now, but two older boys, divorcing her so he can bring someone over to the States and marry. Well, he was successful with that last year and he brought over Lorrana. Married Lorrana. They just announced they had a baby and now he's been arrested. And when you hear the details about his arrest, you're really going to shake your head because I said this on a stream before. I was like, it's almost like it's like seems kind of human trafficking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he rarely dates anybody in the states. It's rare. Like for some reason, he always wants to go outside of the states to bring someone in. Why not in the states? Either way, on top of that, everyone that he talks to that's outside of the states cannot speak English. So there's this language barrier there. So consider that alone to bring someone to the United States who's never been here, never lived here, they can't even speak English. You are going to have the upper hand. Like you're going to have the majority of the control, right? They can't work. They can't drive when they first get here. They have to go through, taking driver's ed or the process of even getting a license. So when Lorraine got here, she was 100% at the mercy of the Merrifields to be taken anywhere, to do anything. If she wanted to leave that house, she did not legally have a license, so she could not drive. She legally could not drive. So she depended 100% on them. And when you hear the details regarding what he did, it really makes you wonder, like, wow, it makes you feel like she's a prisoner in this house. So let me read to you guys. TMZ broke the story, or they broke the story as far as the update in TMZ didn't break the story. According to Amber, broke the story about the arrest. But TMZ has given updated information. Not to mention, he's been dating Brazilian women for 6 years and only seems to know Bonita in Casa, but expects her to learn English quickly. Why not spend 6 years learning Portuguese? Amen. Okay, so TMZ just put this up a second ago. It says Seeking Sister Wife star Garrick Maryfield threatened wife with deportation before his arrest. I don't know. That seems icky to me for that to be like your go to. Oh, you get into a fight with your wife, I'll have you deported. Why would you hang that over their head, especially now y'all have a child? Can you imagine Lorena sitting here with a child? And more than likely, he probably didn't just tell her that. And I'm going out on a whim here. I feel like knowing that he would use that as a threat, he more than likely would also use, and I'll keep the baby. You're not taking the baby back. You're going to get deported. The baby's a citizen, so the baby stays here. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Let's continue reading what TMZ has put out. Seeking Sister Wife star Garrick Maryfield was arrested on Monday for DV against his wife. And now we've uncovered explosive details on the dramatic incident, including a threat to call immigration and customs enforcement. What's so weird about this is that according to an affidavit for an arrest warrant, where did they see this affidavit for the arrest warrant? Because I submitted a FOIA and was told we can't send you anything because it's an ongoing investigation. So I don't know if maybe I sent it to the wrong place. I'm not sure. But it says, according to an affidavit for arrest warrant obtained by TMZ, Garrick's wife, Lorrana, told the police that her husband snatched her phone during a heated argument, refusing to allow her to contact her family in Brazil. The docs say Lorrana informed Garrick that she wanted to call the police, but he wouldn't give her her phone back. He then threatened to call ICE. Lorrana told cops she was terrified because she isn't familiar with all the laws, even though she's in the country legally on a visa. You know what? Yeah, that's why they didn't want an American to marry. They wanted to feel superior and have something to hold over their head. And it seems like that's exactly what he's doing, you know, holding this over her head. No, this is pretty interesting. Even though Lorena didn't want Garrick arrested, the police busted him anyway on charges of DV, according to the affidavit. Garrick and Lorena wed in October 2024, welcomed a daughter this past July. He is in a plural marriage with his first wife Danielle. They have three older children together, and they legally divorced years ago, so Garrick could marry two other women, both from Brazil. We've reached out to Garrick for comment. So far, no word back. So this to me is very telling. Oh, I missed something. Where's it at? Okay, that's what I missed. The docs say Lorena informed Garrick she wanted to call the police, but he wouldn't give her her phone back. He then threatened to call ICE. Lorena told cops she was terrified because she isn't familiar with the laws, even though she's in the country legally on a visa. This is what I missed. As a result, Lorena did an internet search for how to contact law enforcement, which she believes Garrick found out about because he deactivated the Wi Fi on her device. That's pretty interesting as well. Not only is he not, when she wants to make a phone call in the middle of an argument, is he taking the phone from her, telling her, no, you're not going to call your family. I'll actually call ICE. I'll have you deported. And then I guess when maybe things kind of smooth over and she gets the phone back, she starts looking up like how to contact law enforcement, and he cuts the Wi-Fi off to her devices. I don't know if her device is one of those that only works during, being connected to Wi-Fi. I'm not sure. It also made me wonder if maybe he never gave her the phone back, but she was using like an iPad or a computer, and he got suspicious, so he turned the Wi-Fi off. I don't know, but that is really controlling. I can't imagine, like, Garrett and Danielle should put themselves in her position. You are in another country. You're getting into an argument with your husband. You have no one there. You want to call your family in Brazil, and he keeps the phone from you and tells you that you're not allowed. And then when you're like, well, I want to call the police, it's like, I'll have you deported. Oh my goodness. She's like, I have a baby by him. If I get deported, can I bring my baby? The baby's a citizen. She's not. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine that was probably pretty scary, considering she still did not want him arrested. It's I'm like, wow, that's pretty shocking that she still did not want him arrested. It makes me wonder if she, at the moment, still like had some sort of hope of like, you know, either way, what we know is Garrick was charged with destruction of phone use or something like that. I don't know how they say it. But the charge shows up as DB, and let me see what that charge is. It's a misdemeanor charge, the one in regards to the phone. Okay, so he was arrested for DB and obstruction of telephone services. There is a restraining order against him. He was allegedly told he could not go back to the house. So, yeah, if someone hits a phone out of your hand, that's an extension of you, and it is assault. That's true. I heard that before in regards to like someone hit a glass out of somebody's hand and they got arrested for it. Yeah, I would also feel like it could be like him not allowing her to use the phone, or if she wanted to leave and him saying like, no, you can't leave. That that could definitely play into like kidnapping scenario or something like that. So that's wild. But I was doing like research earlier about we all know that because he brought her here on a K1 visa, he is legally responsible for her financially for the next 10 years. He is. Also, there are laws protecting DV victims who are here awaiting to gain their citizenship. People that are here, immigrants who are here on a K-1 visa to if the marriage turns into an abusive situation versus you needing your husband to file for you, you no longer need that. There's a law, it's VAWA or something like that, to where you don't need your spouse anymore. You will file the appropriate paperwork to say that you're in a DV situation, you are separated, and then you can file yourself, or you have like a representative to be able to file for you. Let me see. My camera is in my way. Sorry. Okay, I want to get this up so I can read this correctly to y'all in regards to, oh, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Venus Blue Crash Batty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How many women would divorce your husband so he can marry someone else? That is absolutely bonkers. That is bonkers. Don't even, it's bonkers. They would arrest both if he had said she hit him back. Okay, so it says, all right. If your spouse becomes violent or abusive, U.S. immigration laws do not require you to stay with your abuser to keep your status. You can apply for your own green card without your spouse through something called a VAWA self petition. What the VAWA covers, you can file for a green card on your own if you've entered into a marriage in good faith and your spouse abused you physically, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, or financial abuse. You do not need a police report. It helps, but you don't need one. You do not need the abuser's help, signature, permission, or knowledge. Um, can a former K-1 adjust status under VAWA? Yes. USCIS allows K-1 visa holders to adjust their status under VAWA even if the abusive spouse withdraws the I-864 affidavit, refuses to help, or threatens you with deportation, which is essentially he's threatened her with deportation. So she could move forward now with this arrest. She's got a really good case to say, I want to move forward and I want to file for my own green card without him under the VAWA. So you can still file Form I-360, the VAWA self-petition, the Form I-485, the adjustment of status, even after separation or divorce. So can you be deported while this is happening? If you file a VAWA case, USCIS will not deport you while your case is pending unless you commit certain serious crimes. Also, abusers often threaten you'll be deported. They cannot deport you. Having a U.S. citizen child strengthens your humanitarian case, but it isn't required. Once you file the I-360 and the I-45, you are considered in a period of authorized stay, meaning you cannot be deported just for being out of status. You will receive work authorization as well. What documents help your VAWA case? You do not need all of these, but anything helps. Evidence of abuse, police reports, medical reports, photos of injuries, text threads, emails, voicemails, witness statements, friends, neighbors, families, counseling or therapy notes, screenshots of controlling behavior or threats to deport you. Evidence of good faith marriage, joint bills, lease, photos as a couple, birth certificate of your child, that's going to help for her, text, emails discussing relationship, joint bank account records. I do wonder if Lorrana's on any of their bank accounts. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they put Lorrana on their bank account? I feel like that. I'm gonna go out on a limb here to say I bet Lorrana is not on their bank account. What do you think? She probably was really at the mercy of them. Do you think they are smart enough to do this so he can get divorced, keep her here in the country, and marry another woman? It sounds outrageous. That would be really dumb. That would be really dumb of him to do because now he has a record, a DV record, no less. All he would have had to do if he wanted to bring somebody else in, stay married to Lorrana for another year, get her citizenship. I think Danielle said he would have to be married to Lorrana for 2 years. And then he could divorce her and remarry. So they only would have needed like another year. No, I don't think for a second because that would be screwing him up royally. Because DV, like he's got a misdemeanor charge with the obstruction of telephone services, but whatever that DV charge is, like that could be a felony. That could affect his business. That could affect so much. So no, I don't think that if they did that, that would be the dumbest thing they could do to try to get in another wife. I mean, they could literally go visit, you know, whoever he's dating, have her come visit here and there, a year, and then get divorced and marry someone else. So, and to our knowledge, he's not dating anyone else. Now, Danielle did say on the show that they were already looking, they were still on the dating apps. So I don't think for a second that he would have screwed himself over if he would do that specifically for to marry someone else. Yeah, he's done. So is Danielle. Yeah, he is obligated for 10 years because he brought her here on a K-1 visa, 10 years, as well as child support. Also, you guys, okay, let me finish reading this and then I'm going to go back to what I was about to say. Okay, so what if you already separated or divorced? You can still file a VAWA up to 2 years after the divorce. What about your child's citizenship? Your child is already a U.S. citizen by birth and cannot be deported. This also supports your case because USCIS does not want to force a U.S. citizen minor to lose access to a parent. And then it tells you what you can do next. Hold on. Okay. How does abuse claims in this type of situation affect a prenup? Okay, so a really important point here. I looked this up earlier, okay? Because I wondered, I was like, if there's allegations of abuse, could that get the prenup tossed out? I was curious about that, right? This is a really important point here. A prenup is a civil contract, but abuse changes how courts treat it. Here's how abuse usually affects a prenup in cases involving K-1 visa marriages or any marriage where domestic violence occurs. Abuse can make a prenup unenforceable. Courts look at whether the prenup was signed voluntarily or without coercion. I always feel like I can't say that without being coerced. Coerced. Well, you're not forced, okay? Domestic violence, especially in immigration, dependent relationships, can strongly support an argument that the prenup is invalid because you may not have signed it freely. If there was emotional control, threats, or dependency, like sign this or I won't marry you, or you'll lose your visa, a judge may consider your consent naturally voluntary, which like on the show how like it showed them saying like we have to have the prenup or we can't get married. She's going to be deported. We have to get this prenup so she's not deported. She might could use that as like, well, I signed it because they kept saying I was gonna be deported if I didn't sign it. So I signed it, That might could help her case. if she's really trying to take it there, she potentially could use that. Um, any pattern of abuse after marriage can show there was unequal power all along. This can help determine this can help undermine the prenup by showing if it was force, manipulation, lack of bargaining power, you are pressured into agreeing, which, like I said, the whole we have to sign the prenup, we have to get the prenup done, or she's going to be deported. We have to get married. We have to get married tomorrow. We have to get this prenup done today or early tomorrow, or we can't get married. She's going to have to go back. Courts do not like enforcing agreements where one spouse was vulnerable or controlled. Abuse can cancel specific parts of the prenup. Even if the entire document isn't thrown out, a judge can avoid certain terms, especially if they are unfair, one sided, would leave you financially harmed, or created under pressure. Many prenups have clauses limiting spousal support slash alimony. Courts often throw those out first when there's a history of DV. Immigration related control is considered force. If your spouse threatened deportation, controlled your immigration papers, delayed filing for your green card, used immigration status to manipulate you, which she could say, like, yes. Judges see this as duress and may invalidate the prenup. That's because your entire future and safety were tied to them at the time of marriage. That's a huge factor. The WAVA case can strengthen your argument in divorce court. If you file for a VAWA petition with evidence of abuse, your immigration lawyer cannot share it with your spouse, but a judge in divorce court can consider the same abuse evidence to decide that the prenup is not enforceable. If the prenup was fair and voluntary, abuse may not undo all of it. If the prenup was signed well before the wedding, it wasn't. It was signed the day of. With independent lawyers, it wasn't. They had one lawyer. Fair and balanced, we don't know what it is. Not connected to immigration pressure, it was. Then some parts may still stand. But many judges still modify terms to protect the abused spouse. Abuse has a huge impact on alimony spousal support. In most states, domestic violence directly affects alimony. Judges are far more willing to order spousal support, override alimony waivers, extend support duration. This is true even if the prenup says no alimony. So, bottom line, DV can void a prenup completely. It can void unfair parts of the prenup. It can increase financial protections. It can strengthen your immigration case, your VAWA, and it can protect you from being deported. A prenup cannot trap you into a violent marriage, and courts will not let an abuser use it to financially ruin you. So I thought that was interesting. Really interesting. She did say that. That's true. There is a clip of her saying, like, whatever. And I showed that clip earlier today. And of course, TLC got me and blocked the video in some places. But she did say, like, I don't want nothing. We're starting new here. I'm not trying to take what they built before I came into the picture, but we are starting new here. They rushed into finding this lawyer who knows how legal it is. They probably give her a small allowance. And the way he takes a day to rest from his wives on Sunday, I know, right? In criminal court, the judge will say, if you aren't a citizen, this be different. Now, TLC has 2 abusive, controlling men, Cody and Garrick. Yes. That is true. That is very true. Yeah, a lot of times they won't let you use because it's not actual reality. Well, she should move, get alimony, child support, then she's not taking the house or anything. Yeah, I really don't think she should end up with the house. That is, the family home that his in-laws live there, his first wife. I mean, I definitely don't think she should get the house. If anything, it should be like Lorrana and the baby can go find an Airbnb. Garrick, you need to pay for it. I don't know, Anyways, you guys, I thought this was wild, so telling that this poor girl is at the mercy of the Merrifields, can't call her family when she gets into an argument with Garrick, not allowed to call them. Then he's threatening her with immigration, knowing they have a baby together, probably telling her, "Oh, I'll have you deported, but the baby's staying." She's a new mom, first child. Like, can you imagine how terrifying that is? We're going to continue to keep up with the situation, you guys. Also, in 1 hour, I will be live over on TikTok to watch tonight's episode of Seeking Sister Wives. So if you haven't watched the newest episode of Seeking Sister Wives, we'll be live on TikTok in less than an hour. It'll be 8 p.m. Central Time. It's 7:13 right now for me. So hop over there on TikTok a little bit with me, and we're gonna watch. And I usually start playing the episode pretty quickly. Like, I go live at like 8, and within like 6, 7 minutes, I start playing the episode. And I usually always have people come in saying like, "Oh, I'm late." And the reason I play it is because I feel like if I don't start playing it, people come in and then leave. They're like, "Oh, she's not playing it," and they leave. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get it on as quickly as possible. So 8 p.m. Central Time tonight, we're going to be watching the next episode of Seeking Sister Wives. I don't know if this is the episode where they find out she's pregnant. I think it is. So make sure you join me. Also, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Lorrana is going to exit the relationship and the prenup is going to hold weight? Or do you guys think Garrick's screwed? Leave me your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys can remember, later come back and hype my video up if you guys don't mind. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Bye, guys.